I mentioned in an earlier video that I was putting in new lighting. I need to have enclosed vapor type fixtures for everywhere in the food area so that if a lamp were to break or something like that, it can't fall into the food. Okay, fine. I'd have to swing an apple around a lot to hit a light. What I've invested in behind me may be hard for you to see the detail of it, but that's an LED, okay? I'm going to dim it down. That's an LED fixture. It's got a nice color temperature to it. Behind me, up here, that's the old fluorescent. Those were two 110 watt discharge tubes. I got to tell you straight up, they're not terribly efficient and they're really hard to start in the winter. So the LEDs have already demonstrated they don't put out, I'm going to say, significantly more light, but that fixture's 90 watts by itself, so it's less than half of the other one, and I'm going to say it's certainly competing for that light lumens coming out of it, and the color is better for what I'm doing. Now, not always better for everything, but it's better for what I'm doing because the warm light kind of blurs everything in here, but the slightly cooler light coming off of that LED jumps up the contrast and makes things easier to see. So I'm going to cut away and show you the fixtures and show you what I'm talking about. I got these on Amazon. It's not an affiliate link, but I'm going to put a link down below to these fixtures. Okay, first of all, these are 8-foot long 90 watt fixtures, and you can see that each strip is made up of a gazillion little LEDs, which are all painfully bright to look at when they're running. Okay, trust me. It's in two sections. That's kind of helpful because when you have to break them apart, you have to open up the panel and get inside. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Not easily. Okay, I'll segue. Well, what I'm doing now is that panel I've completely pre-wired and brought pigtails out. It is so much easier to do that down here on the ground than to try to do that over my head on the ceiling. All I want to do on the ceiling is clip them up and connect them into their terminal boards. Okay, so next time I'll show you what's going on inside. Okay, this is the inside of the unit. You can see there's the LED driver mounted there. And it doesn't really have tombstones, but it has pigtails that go to the circuit board to drive the LEDs on it. Those come off, and you can see that there's restraints on there so you can work on this on the ceiling. But why is my real question. Why would you want to do that? It's drilled on one end. This cable out here was just for test. I have stranded in there, which will pull out of this little quick disconnect. I'll be putting in a different cable. We'll show you that later. And down here, I have to drill another hole because I need to be able to come in on both ends. And there you can see my the fitting. It's got a little center divot, which helps. I'm using a 7/8 inch drill bit, which is for 3/8 inch conduit, which will fit the cable clamp that's going in here. Stand by. Okay, what I'm doing is unorthodox, but it works well for me. And I'm the most important person right now. What I'm doing is I'm using the Romex clamp. So I have a 7/8 inch hole for a 1/2 inch Romex clamp because it uses a 3/4 inch hole. And I'm going to put it so the clamp is on the inside. And I have a reason for this. I'll pull everything through and tighten it. But on the outside, I'll just have the hole. I can't do this one-handed. I'm sorry. I have a broken thumb. But the clamp will go out here. Okay, where was I? Okay, the clamping portion goes on the inside. Now, what's important, you can see I shortened the screw. The reason being is when you fully clamp it, where this is, the screws will strike the inside of the lamp assembly, and you don't want that. So you do need to use the screw cutter on your
multi-tool, and these are 832s. Someplace in there I can focus on for you, or not, but they are 832s. There we go. Anyway, yeah, trim them, pop it in there. When the Romex comes out and everything's done, I will use electrician's putty and seal those. Moisture will not be able to get in, bugs will not be able to get around the corners. It will meet the need. So there you have it. I have more to do. Talk to you later. Okay, one thing about this fixture, it's getting new, is that I am not a fan of wire nuts. They've been around forever. I love them. I mean, you need them. Okay, you need some way to connect, but there always has been something better. These have come to us from Europe. They're finally here in the United States. They're push-in, and this one will hold 4 wires. Okay, 4 number 12s. Who wants to wire nut that? That's a kludge. It's a mess. And here, I'm pushing on my ground, and all I have to do is push in those wires, and they're transparent, so I can see that it's in as far as it needs to go. When the next wires come, these will get folded back, and it will meet and greet the traveler wires that are just going to run in the trough and go up to this end to be connected up here. So I'll be working on this section next. Okay, I've got this end buttoned up now, and it comes through here, and you can see I'm bringing forward the hot, the neutral, and the ground. These are the lines that go back to from the driver back to the other lighting panel. If I keep coming along here, you can see I have my ground, neutral, and hot line going here. These two go off to a quick disconnect, which is kind of nice because I disconnect it and I get them all hooked up and then I put it back. But again, coming back, my clamp is already secured inside. I'm done. I put a 5-foot pigtail on here because that's the nature of my ceiling up above. You leave as much pigtail as you need, but remember, it's harder to add it. You can always cut it off. Romex isn't that expensive yet. So I'm going to fold all this stuff down in here and close it up. Now when you close it up, just to let you know, you're lining up with these little clips here that go in like this. And you want to make sure you don't have any cables, any conductors caught underneath the seal lip, because it just happens. And that's one reason why I start off by putting my carry forward leads just right down the middle of those clips here. So this will be the hard part because it's kind of busy back here, but I'll have it done in a moment. Okay, again, I've tucked all the wires underneath, made sure I didn't have anything caught between the lighting panel and this little groove here. And my clips are in place. What I'm going to do next is clip, clip, clip. I'm going to put the entire diffuser assembly on. Mind you, the diffuser assembly has a little knife switch, a knife edge right here that fits into this groove here that keeps moisture from getting into the fixture. You want to make sure that's in there solid and clean, and then clip away. You don't need to watch me do that, but that's what you do. It's sort of satisfied.